almost 100 years, the members of the International Association of Machinists have been meeting every 4 years to discuss, and yes, even fight a bit sometimes, over the future of our union and our country. Our goals are simple and very, very important. We want to make industry a better place to earn a living and our country a better place in which to live. Our skilled members make things happen in all 50 states of the USA, in 10 Canadian provinces, in the Canal Zone, and in Guam. And I am very proud to be a member of the Machinists, the best union in the world.
We would like the delegates here to vote in favor of that resolution.
Thank you, brother. Is there further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Place is Cincinnati, Ohio. The time is September 1980. This is the IAM's 30th Quadrennial Convention. Delegates of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers gathered to chart their own course for tomorrow. It's a lot different from the machinist first organizing session that 19 of them held in a locomotive pit in Atlanta, Georgia in 1888. Today, the machinists are 1 million strong and play an active role in almost every major industry in America. Here, 2,325 delegates, representing 903 local lodges, will discuss, debate, and vote on the issues that they decide is important to machinists everywhere. Following opening ceremonies, President William W. Wimpensinger set the tone for the convention in his keynote speech.
I think we are leading the trade union parade on this continent, and I hope you share with me the conviction that we must stay out in front. We have 4 basic rights or goals to secure. The first is a guaranteed right to a job and full employment. The second is a right to a fair share of the national wealth and income. The third is the right for trade unions to grow, prosper, and participate in the corporate and public decision-making processes. And the fourth is the right to peace and to enjoy the fruits of peace.
President Wimpensinger tells the delegates that the rapid development of microelectronics, including computer-controlled robots, pose a grave threat to their future, and outlines a list of needs to meet that danger.
The shorter work week with no reduction in pay, or the 8-hour day standard. Application of the speed of light technology to our National Employment Service to match up the jobless and displaced workers with job opportunities anywhere in Canada and the United States. Beefed up federal apprenticeship and training programs for the skilled trades and operate them through the trade union movement. Federally sponsored retraining programs for displaced, semi-skilled clerical and technical workers, and that's particularly critical if women, minorities, and youth are to share in the national wealth and income. A vast public works program to rebuild, refurbish, and rehabilitate our urban infrastructures. Industrial production needs to be directed into new areas toward improving the quality of life, to manufacture the hardware, products, systems, to overcome pollution, hazardous waste disposal, catastrophic accidents in travel and industry, energy inefficiency, to create and deliver educational, cultural, child care, and health care programs through the collective bargaining system if necessary. These can be the new growth industries in the traditional industrial and public service sense. Yep, we're calling for nothing less than the reindustrialization of the North American continent, and with a new design for qualitative as well as quantitative growth. And the trade union movement, including the IAM, is surely at a navigational crossroads. One path accepts the status quo and curves dangerously to the right, and the other is the path currently least traveled, but it does lead to the city of hope and economic and social justice. Justice, fairness, and equality in all things economic, political, and social constitute the unifying conscience of North America and its trade union movement. And the only way to surmount obstruction, to remove resistance, is to remain aggressive, innovative, and militant, always militant. And when the final debate is over, the votes counted, the last gavel brought down, this convention can be proud and secure in the knowledge that it has provided not only sustenance for the present generation of machinists, but a viable future for posterity. The issues and the decisions are now in your hands. Indeed, the future truly is now in your hands. Thank you very, very much. Brother and sister delegates, I now declare this 30th convention of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers in order for all business legally and properly brought before it. The man who is responsible for preserving...
President Wippensinger begins the 8-day convention by calling General Secretary Treasurer Eugene Glover to the podium to explain voting procedures and to present his report to the convention.
The number of votes to which a local lodge is entitled will be computed upon the number of members in good standing at the close of July 1980. Local lodges having less than 100 members...
Secretary Treasurer Eugene Glover informs the PAC Convention Hall that the IAM is on very sound financial footing with a net worth of over $25 million, double what it was 4 years ago. The Secretary Treasurer went on to report that during the past 4 years, $38.8 million was paid out to striking members. The strike fund today totals $11.5 million, and the scholarship and pension funds are healthy and growing. Finally, despite the recession, depression, IAM membership had increased by 71,000 members during the past 4 years, for a total of 982,222 machinists. The busy delegates began their convention deliberations by discussing and voting on a resolution that praises the nationwide strike by the workers in Poland, and that also advises U.S. corporate interests that have been advocating a union-free environment that the right to join free labor unions is vital to any democratic society.
Mr. Chairman, I so move the adoption of this resolution.
You've heard the report of the committee. The motion is for adoption of the resolution. It has been duly seconded. Is there discussion?
I rise in support of the resolution, and I say this in Polish, Jeszcze Polska nie zginiła.
The resolution has been seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. And those opposed? Ayes have it, and such will be the order.
Leading a group of distinguished speakers to address the convention is AFL-CIO President Lane Kirkland.
This great trade union has long played a role of leadership in the expression of concern about the image of labor that is portrayed to the public. No union has a better record on Capitol Hill of working for social and economic justice than does the IAM. Yes, the labor movement is fighting for a better tomorrow. Yes, we are fighting to save and strengthen laws that protect workers. Yes, we are fighting to re-elect those who have proven themselves to be the friends of working people. But the real fight is not just for the present. It is for the future of America. We will fight for it on the shop floor and the picket line. We will fight for it in the halls of Congress and in the ballot box. We shall never sound retreat. Thank you and good luck to you all.
Dennis McDermott, president of the Canadian Labour Congress, brings greetings from the 2.3 million members of his organization, and in his address calls for more sensible economic planning in both countries.
There's no question about it that labor is hurting right now. And we're hurting because of economic mismanagement in both of our countries and exercised economic stupidity in both of our countries. And we're beginning to discover, and the rest of the people in the country are beginning to discover, that when labor hurts, the community hurts. When labor is shortchanged, the community gets shortchanged.
While the majority of the work is determined by the delegates in the convention hall, an important part of the business is conducted by delegates who are members of various convention subcommittees. Meeting during and before the convention convenes, the committees review and prepare for the convention consideration the many resolutions submitted by the various lodges and the Executive Council. The hundreds of resolutions offered seek approval on a broad range of programs, including finances, organizing, collective bargaining, pensions, and dental plans. While many of the resolutions are approved by the delegates, a number of resolutions are voted down.
Efforts in this field parallels and in many cases surpasses those of the UAW. For example, the UAW carries on job training throughout.
The resolution for the IAM to adopt a job location program for unemployed machinists that would be similar to the UAW's manpower program failed to meet the recommendation of the Resolutions Committee because the resolution would duplicate the IAM's present excellent program.
You've heard the report of the committee. The motion is for non-concurrence. It has been duly seconded. Is there discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it, and such will be the order.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank
The
you.
discussion and voting on convention business comes to a temporary halt as President Wimpensinger introduces Labor Secretary Ray Marshall to the delegates.
Now, we've had some setbacks in our efforts to protect and promote the interests of American workers. We've also had some important successes. It also should be clear to all who are concerned about workers and their problems that we still have a lot of work to do. I want to personally thank President Wimpensinger.
In concluding, the Secretary thanked the machinists for their help and support during recent years and urged their continued efforts in supporting labor law reform, improved working conditions, an increase in the minimum wage, and to guard against those who would take away the rights won by the American labor movement.
And promote the interests of the workers of this country.
Among the dignitaries attending the convention are a number of foreign labor leaders who bring greetings from union members all over the world.
Today, we have a lot of problems in common, awaiting for a solution through solidarity and joint action of trade unions worldwide.
The metal workers of Brazil, of South Africa, of India, of Japan, in fact from all over the world, join me in bringing you solidarity greetings to this convention. The International Association of Machinists has a long and proud history of internationalism.
We must do everything within sphere of possibility for the fight of the system in those countries, which negate the most basic and human and trade union rights, and where freedom is a foreign word.
Intermissions in the convention activities afforded the delegates the opportunity to view the exhibits area and to secure literature on important machinist activities. They also had a chance for a close-up look at the sleek new IAM-30, the first all-American, all-union-made car in racing history. Built and owned by the Machinist Union, it is attracting much attention at championship racetracks across the country, performing at speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour. The next guest to address the convention was Senator Ted Kennedy, and the delegates made him feel right at home. The senator tells the cheering delegates that the country faces a number of problems, including that of the vital need for national health insurance to deal with medical costs that can bankrupt almost any family.
I think about what the health impact would have been in my own family. Here I had a father who had a heart attack and was sick for 7 years. And the medical attention that it took for our family basically would have bankrupted any family in this country that didn't have very substantial means. I can think of my own sister, a mentally retarded sister, and the thousands of dollars that my family has spent in order that she would be able to live a decent life. Would have bankrupted any family, most families in this country. And I think of the treatment that my own son received when he was struck by cancer and lost his leg. He received chemotherapy treatment. It was experimental at that time. Today, the chemotherapy is $2,700 a treatment. That child needed it for 18 months. And you find the children of the sons and daughters of this union, or the sons and daughters of working people who don't have the kind of health care program that you enjoy as one of the strong and progressive unions in this country. You think of the millions of working people in this country that do not have the kinds of protections that you have. And you think of all the other men and women in this nation who care as much about their families, care as much about their parents, care as much about their children as I do, and I say it is a disgrace that this country of ours can provide national health insurance to the members of the Congress, of the Senate of the United States, to a president and vice president of the United States, and we still will not provide it for the millions of working people all over this nation and this country. So let me leave with you, the members of this union, to whom I owe so much, the words I spoke to the delegates in New York. The work goes on, the cause endures, the hope still lives, and the dream shall never die. Thank you very much.
The machinists had supported Senator Kennedy's unsuccessful efforts to capture the Democratic presidential nomination. Later, the delegates approve a resolution not to endorse any of the presidential candidates. The delegates and officers continue their discussion and voting on the resolution submitted. Many times the vote is very close.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. And all those opposed?
The vote is very close. So close that Delegate D.C. Kramlich of Lodge 1487 requests a division of the House so the votes can be counted. President Wimpensinger orders the division, and the auditors of the convention personally count each row of delegates voting. The tally of the votes support the prior ruling of the chair.
May we be in order, please, brothers? I have a tabulation of the division of the House. Yeses were 474, noes 1,403. The amendment is lost. Proposition number 2.
A resolution that would change the IAM Constitution, stating that any member who advocates or supports movements or organizations inimical to the interest of the IAM shall not be entitled to hold office in the IAM, draws some lively comment.
Recognize the delegate at microphone 9.
Brother Chairman, I think that our union here is one of the best in the world. And furthermore, if we do not control it by keeping our Constitution to keep these different people out of it, we will soon be like some of the people that we've heard talk about today and the days in the past that belong to other unions. And I think it should be non-concurrence in this.
Recognize the delegate at mic 1.
I feel that regardless of how any organization's intentions might conflict with our stated beliefs and our purposes and our goals, I feel that when we take any motion or any action to exclude them from our organization, we are taking the first step toward becoming what they already are. And we are taking a course of self-defeat. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Is there further discussion? Recognize the delegate at microphone 3.
Dan O'Leary, Lodge 778. I move the previous question.
All those in favor of the previous question, please raise your right hands. There is obviously sufficient. This convention appears to me to be ready to vote. And I will the motion is for concurrence in the report of the Law Committee. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. And all those opposed? The ayes have it and is so ordered.
Television star Ed Asner, a great friend of the machinist, was next on the convention agenda. A strong unionist, Asner reveals some of his early attempts to earn a living.
I tried a couple of jobs. I tried selling in a boiler room. That's where you sell over the phone. With my great acting voice, I couldn't make a sale. I tried selling shoes, couldn't make a sale. Drove a cab, decided to park at stands and read plays rather than go out and hustle. So left that and finally decided to get a job at the Gary Steel Mills.
Ed tells the delegates that later he went to work as a union metal finisher at a Ford plant in Chicago, where conditions were a lot better than those he had previously experienced working in an open automobile shop.
I stayed at that Ford plant, and I'm so damned happy I did, because it showed me what people can be treated like in a union shop as opposed to an open shop plant. The treatment was vastly different. If I ever became a more confirmed union man, it was at that point in my life. I loved the money, and I loved the treatment I received as a human being on that assembly line belonging to a union shop plant. I'm proud to know you and to be with you. Thank you.
We want you to have this as a genuine token.
Oh, my God.
A genuine token not only of our thanks for what you've done for us, but but for being the kind of warm, caring human being that's characterized your entire career of work, irrespective of where it's been. Please accept it with the thanks of this convention and the 981,000 of our people who can't be here. We really appreciate what you've done. Don't go away.
Machinists do it better.
As the convention moves toward conclusion, the delegates continue to vote on resolutions presented for their consideration. Another resolution provoking debate is one that calls for the election of one Canadian General Vice President who would be elected by Canadian members only. Secretary Burns of the Law Committee recommends non-concurrence on this proposition. He tells the delegates that the IAM must remain firmly united from our top leadership to the rank-and-file members and not permit our union to be divided into splinter groups.
Recognize the delegate at mic 3.
In this day and age, when divide and conquer is the main theme of corporate policy, we should strive to maintain our unity and solidarity and not allow ourselves to be divided by area and area voting. The IAM has always meant one for all and all for one, and I'd like to see it remain that way. I strongly urge that all of you support...
Let's be courteous, delegates.
I strongly urge that all of you support the committee's recommendation of non-concurrence. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sister. Is there further discussion on the amendment? Delegate at mic 7.
Mr. Chairman, I rise...
Talk directly into the microphone, brother, otherwise you won't be heard.
I rise in favor of Propositions 16 and 16A. We, as Canadians, feel that we should have the right to vote for our own GVP.
Recognize the delegate at mic 3.
Though I respect their concern for the strength and solidarity of our union, I believe that the Law Committee does our rank-and-file members a grave disservice in their suggestion that the right to elect our own area vice presidents would cause splinter groups within our union. I do not believe that the members of New England should vote for the vice president for New Mexico. California should not elect the representative of our brothers and sisters in Canada.
And I'll recognize the delegate at mic 1.
Thank you, Brother Chairman. Pat O'Brien, Local Lodge 1784. I rise in support of the recommendation of the Law Committee.
All those in favor of the report of the committee, which is non-concurrence with the stated propositions, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Aye. The ayes have it. It's so ordered.
As the final day of the convention draws to an end, the delegates have a little surprise for President Wimpensinger.
To draw to a close the 30th Grand Lodge Convention. It can only be described as historic in scope and accomplishment. And I trust you will be as proud of our record here when you get back to your membership as I am to report it to you on the one hand and to tell the entire trade union movement of our two countries on the other. There's no question that you have responded fully to the aspirations and the needs of this great union. And in characteristic mood, your responses to the challenges of the 1980s has been constructive, cooperative, and made in all good humor. Your spirit will long serve as an inspiration to your officers whenever and wherever we carry our program for progress into the future, because our program for progress remains intact. You have, in every sense of the word, preserved our financial integrity and structure, and you have seen fit as well to improve and modernize our Constitution. Your resolutions have, at one and the same time, affirmed the heritage and the tradition of our organization and boldly confronted the new and emerging issues of the 1980s. I now declare this 30th convention of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers adjourned sine die. Yes, the future is in our hands, and we, the officers and the members of this great union, will meet that future with courage, determination, and vision. We shall protect our hard-won victories, and we shall not falter in the pursuit of our plans for progress. Together, we cannot fail.